Hello and welcome to the Circle at Kismet. Today's reading is something that I've wanted to do for some time. It may be useful for anyone who is watching now, or for anyone in the future who feels their world has been rocked, are emerging from a place of turmoil, or who stand directionless, facing a crucial crossroads. I feel like the last 6 months have been a ridiculous roller coaster, like the sort of thing you would be thankful to wake up from. You'd read about in a fairy tale, watch in a sci-fi movie, or only come across if you fell down a rabbit hole. Hence today's theme, Welcome to Wonderland. We have 6 of the characters from Wonderland, an accompanying selection of cards in envelopes beside them. Option 1 is the Queen of Hearts. Option 2 is the playing card. Option 3 is the Mad Hatter. Option 4 is Alice. Option 5 is the White Rabbit. Option 6 is the Teapot and the Teacup. If you're new to pick up our readings, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and when you reopen your eyes, simply pick the character you are drawn to. If you hop to the timestamps below for your selection, I'll see you there. And just a quick reminder, this reading may not resonate for everybody and is created for guidance only, not to sway actions or decisions. Welcome to the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Pull up a chair and we'll get on with your reading. If you pick the Queen of Hearts as your character, this is your reading. In the envelope that was beside the characters, we've got some personality traits. Maybe you, might be somebody around you, or it could be the personality you have to adopt to get through the current situation that you're in. The Queen of Hearts may appear as a matriarch, swiftly wanting to rid her kingdom of anyone who fails to agree with her ways, but she is often misunderstood. The Queen of Hearts has lived and experienced many things to get to this stage in life that she occupies. She doesn't suffer fools gladly, can be abrupt, brash and quick to judge, but she also knows what she wants from life. She is determined and in control, knows exactly the respect and reverence she deserves, and will react if her high values and morals fail to be adhered to. So, let's pop that back. Now the tarot cards that we've drawn for you are the 8 of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the 2 of Cups, Temperance, and the Knight of Swords. The first thing that strikes me about the tarot cards that we've drawn here is that the 8 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles have come out together, which is obviously 8-8, which reminds me of the Lion's Gate in August. And the fact the Knight of Wands is represented by a lion as well. So I don't know if you've got any affiliations to Leos, if you're a Leo yourself, if you have planets in Leo, or if you just have that fierce determination that Leos show, where they balance what they want with accommodating people and trying to be kind. They have this fantastic balance between standing their ground but also being helpful and kind, which is a really nice quality to have. You're in a situation where you've put a lot of hard work in. You are, judging by this, one of the best communicators there is out there. You are fantastic at putting yourself across. You're good at asking for things if you need to ask for something, and your communication skills are the best they can be. But for some reason, what you've wanted is stuck. It's not yet manifested. You're not seeing the rewards that you felt you would have seen by now. You're almost having sleepless nights about the fact, have I wasted my time? How much longer do I have to wait? There's also questions about relationships in regard to delays. There's setbacks and delays, or something that's stopping things flowing properly in a relationship. And I think you've just got to rely on the fact that divine time works wonders, and patience and focus on goals and desires that are close to your heart is the key. You've just got to stay focused on what you want. And remember that worrying about things takes up valuable energy and time, and it's putting out into the universe what you don't want, and that then has the potential to manifest the negative thoughts. So try and keep your thoughts positive, clear, and directed at only what you want to bring into your life and what your heart's desire is, rather than what you wouldn't want to bring in. So your playing cards are the 8 of Hearts, the Jack of Clubs, the 6 of Spades, 3 of Diamonds, and the 6 of Diamonds. The playing cards here seem to denote that there's a certain sense of worry, particularly about finances or job prospects, where you feel stuck in a situation that doesn't seem solid. You don't want to step away from it because it's not collapsed, but it just feels very unstable, and it means a lot to your day-to-day lifestyle, basically. There's also a situation, it may be to do with romance or relationships. It could be to do with work, where you feel that you're giving more than you're getting back, and your contributions are far more than somebody else, and you feel you should be getting more from that. Unless this is addressed, this negativity is going to snowball in the future, and you're going to find that this particular phase and any downhill slide from here will be started now if it's not addressed. So that really needs to be looked at. Maybe some conversations need to take place to put that right, or to at least express where you feel things are going wrong and how they can be improved. Then we have the Oracle cards, the Right Way, learning to create what you desire, and Shine bright like a candle, you will make it through this. The Right Way card is all about wanting to just step through a doorway into the life that you've always dreamed of. Obviously things aren't that simple, and if you ask yourself, if something fell on your doorstep that you desperately wanted, if you hadn't had to work for it, or think about it, or imagine having it, would you be grateful for it? Would you take it for granted? Would it be as big a thing if it was easily attained? And the other card, Shine Bright Like a Candle, is just reminding you that you are a small drop in a massive ocean, but everybody has their part to play, and to remember that however difficult things are, these are only phases. These things don't last forever, and when you're in a situation where you think you're struggling, other people can help you, and that works vice versa. When somebody else is struggling, you can actually step in and be their candle and their light at the end of the tunnel. So then we've got some obstacle cards, and to be fair, these actually flew out. You had quite a lot of these, so I think there's quite a lot of things that are holding you back, but we'll go through them one at a time. The first card is the 5 of Cups. Then we've got the Hanged Man, or in this case it's called the Hanged One. We've then got the 8 of Cups. We've got the Princess of Coins. we've got the Ten of Swords, we've got the Moon, we've got the Nine of Coins, and we've got the Princess of Swords. So in the obstacles section, we've got the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups, which as far as the cup suit is concerned, are not the greatest of cards, but this is in the obstacles section, so it's things that are stopping you moving on rather than things you're experiencing at the moment. Because that's around the Hangman card, I think that's maybe something that you're holding on to. Maybe you need to heal that, maybe you need to release it, and then obviously you can open up a new chapter and move on in a positive sense from there. You've also got in the obstacles, as the end of a cycle you've got to get over. I think you're pretty much at the pinnacle of it now. You've also got the Moon there, which means you're not fully aware of everything that's going on, but things will be revealed to you in divine time. You've got the Princess of Coins, Princess of Swords. That can be either sex. It can be somebody quite young, a little bit immature. The coins are normally somebody that's quite earthy, grounded, normally quite good with advice and literally rolling their sleeves up and getting on and helping you in a physical sense. The Swords is normally somebody that's a little bit more up in their head. It can be someone that speaks without having the full knowledge behind them, or can speak their opinion as if it is, you know, the facts, which if something comes up that's too good to be true, just make your own investigations and don't necessarily trust things that might be coming into you that don't really seem real. So that's basically your obstacles. And then for the future, we have security, we have soulmates, and we have yang. The security card, you might have felt your life's been twisted and turned so much that nothing's secure anymore. But the universe is supporting you, they're offering you security, they're allowing you, while you pursue the path that you need to be on and you're following it with love and honesty, that they totally have your back. I know it's kind of hard to believe in some senses when negative things get thrown at you, or you're already in a situation where you've got a lot to deal with and something else turns up. But it's sent to teach you something, it's sent to make you be the kind of person that you need to be to open the door to your next chapter. So it tends to all be necessary, just not necessarily the easiest thing to see while you're going through it. The Soulmates card speaks for itself basically. It's a meeting of minds, souls, and the ability to balance and compromise everything that life throws at you, either on your own or in a partnership, and to share things with others. And the Yang card is the masculine energy, moving forth, making progress, allowing someone else to take the reins for a while. That could be somebody taking pressure from you. It can be somebody offering you a hand of help. If you're single, it undoubtedly means there's somebody just around the corner who is going to be amazing for you and who you all never dreamed of would turn up out of the blue at this time with everything else going on. So that's extremely positive. The last two cards I've drawn, the first one is a door, and on the reverse it says heart healing, which I think is quite apt for some of the cards we've had today. It says morning now has had its time, do not pay it a single dime, emerge from the darkness, a new day starts, let light embrace the healing heart. And the last card I've drawn is a card of timing. I think with the rabbit and I'm late, I think time is a major thing in the Alice in Wonderland story. So I've drawn a card on time, and it's giving you Thursday. We've got the number 5, and it says take a stand, follow your energy. Now Thursday may be a strong day for you, something might happen on a Thursday. A lot of these cards tend to come up with weeks, months or years, but the fact that you've got a day, I would say this is something that's now kind of bubbling to the surface, and all of the issues that you've experienced within the reading are soon to pass, if not already blowing over. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Give us a like, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. If you picked the playing card as your character, this is your reading. I picked out some personality traits for each of the cards. This could either be about yourself, it can be about someone you know, or it can be what you need to adopt to get through your current circumstance. The playing cards are hard workers. The roses swiftly get painted from white to red. They aim to please, move about in packs, are flexible, happy to serve, and are collectively team players. On a negative note, the cards do not have the strength of the other characters and may not have the ability to face confrontation or battles alone and without the backing of their counterparts. So I think that kind of proves that we all have positives and negatives in our personalities, and what may be our strength may be somebody else's weakness, hence why we all really need to work together. For your tarot cards, we've got the Nine of Cups, the Four of Swords, the Strength card, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. From the cards, I can see that you've been working towards a wish or a desire, and it's something that's taken a lot of energy and a lot of your time, and it's started to come to fruition, and it's started to gain momentum and actually start forming in the real world. You've actually started to see things come of your efforts, but then everything's ceased, and it's obviously been the same for everybody. It's been a time where you've kind of had to take stock and tweak plans. You might have had a bit of ill health or needed some time out, or just been exhausted and needed to recharge your batteries. It's obviously been a necessary phase and has helped to harness emotions and to gain some strength and to focus your energies on things that might have lacked your time and attention whilst you've been so dedicated to bringing your wish into the real world. Now at the moment is a good time to try to look at the overall picture and take contentment in what you've done through difficult circumstances, because you've made the best of what you can do. You've come as far as you can. Things demand a lot from you, and whereas you've had to dig deep for the ability to do these, you have stepped out of your comfort zone, you've lacked confidence, and you've gone beyond that. You've got these amazing victories that, whereas you've kind of been stuck through no fault of your own, you are now ready to go with a new essence, revive zest, and to get back on track. The playing cards that I picked for you are the Eight of Swords, the Ten of Clubs, the Nine of Clubs, and the Two of Diamonds. With the playing cards, there's definitely been a period of indecision which is now over, and the phase of stagnancy is now coming to a close, and you've now got concise choices that have been flying around your head. You need to pinpoint what you're going to do next and start to follow through on it. It might involve taking chances and taking on more than you feel comfortably that you can handle, but feel assured that you can ask for help from others or accept assistance that's offered in good faith. When these things begin to gain momentum, you're definitely going to see your investment of time and dedication and energy begin to pay off. The Alice Oracle cards. You can't go back to yesterday, be in the present. And such a curious dream, grounding, returning to reality, coming home. So with the card you can't go back to yesterday, your past has made you you. So you can share experience, but don't let it keep you trapped where you've come from. You really need to move forward. And the Curious Dream is really telling you to take your visions and to make them into reality, or to actually start visualizing your dreams with regard to manifesting things. It's not necessarily what you wake up from as in a dream, but it's dreams, desires, wishes, etc. Now your obstacle cards are the Five of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Four of Coins. With the obstacle cards, we see the Ten of Cups again, which was in the first line of tarot we drew. So you know where your happiness lies, but you might not be aware of how to make the passage to that, or what direction to go in to attain what you want. I think there's a relationship or a desire for a relationship that is depleting your energy. If you're in a relationship, the current situation might need to be reassessed, or maybe you need to admit you need to accept differences between you and either work towards the same goal or give each other some space. Or if you're looking for a relationship, I think you might need to reassess what you're looking for and the reasons behind what you're looking for. You maybe need to look for someone who complements you rather than is an ideal and maybe a checklist that you're trying to actually complete in its entirety. Our action cards for the future. That is actually action. We have building blocks, and we have all that glitters. So with the card building blocks, it's really about the steps that you need to take and making a solid foundation to build onto. It's also having the tools, the know-how and the ability to bring things together and to work with other people to ultimately bring your goal into fruition. All that glitters, I think, resonates with that, because it's just advising that there aren't any shortcuts to hard work. Beware of things that seem too good to be true, because reward comes after you invest time and energy into a focused dream, and not when things necessarily fall into your lap, because if they are too good to be true, they often don't exist, and then it causes a whole host of problems. The penultimate card I've drawn for you is a door, and that says, change beckons. The path is shifting, the road leads a new way. Do not be alarmed as change beckons today. And the last card I've picked, because of the white rabbit and the element of time in the whole Wonderland experience, is a card of time. And you have number 3, which is Gemini. It says search for exchange, 3 weeks, 3 months. Now to me, whenever you get a card that has a number on it, I always look out for that number. So if you look out for the 3rd of each month, if you look out for March, obviously 3 weeks, 3 months, potentially 3 years for longer term projects, or in the phase of Gemini, they hopefully should all be lucky times for you, or at least when there should be prosperous ideas and things coming into your essence, where you can actually take off and start manifesting from there. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Give us a like, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So if you pick the Mad Hatter as your character, this is your reading. The envelope with the cards in behind the figure has some characteristics inside. I'll just pull them out. This might be your personality traits, it might be somebody connected to the situation's personality traits, or it may be what you need to adopt to get through this situation. It says the Mad Hatter is a complex character. He's strange, funny and full of wit. He will close down a conversation with a bizarre quote, a quip, or he will belittle someone, making himself look more intelligent and at the helm. Whilst the Mad Hatter appears to be scatty, he knows that the show he performs in ultimately wins him attention, friendship and constant interaction with those who sit at his table to share his afternoon tea. So I think that basically says that the Mad Hatter wears a facade and not everybody gets to see the true person. They tend to get to see what he wants them to see. So the tarot cards you have are the Seven of Swords, the Devil, the Four of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. I would say from the tarot cards that the issue that you currently have or have been going through is that you felt tied to something that you're finding it difficult to release from. This is something that's quite long standing because it's coming across that you're feeling very drained. It's something very difficult to walk away from, and it's made you feel undervalued, that you've invested time and received little reward from, that your efforts have been discarded, opinions swept aside, and you feel so depleted. You really need to escape this. It could be work, family, love or a friendship, as all the cards point towards various areas of life. There's been things going on behind the scenes. It could be gossip, blame, guilt. You may have been accused of something you didn't do or been tarred with someone else's brush because of their behaviour and because you're close to them. On occasions it can relate to an addiction, an obsession, a heavy routine. It can even be overworking yourself, but it's a phase that's been difficult to break or adjust, but it does now need to be cut away. We've got two pentacle cards there, both the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, which are both quite slow moving energies, or it could be people involved. So I'd say this is built up over a certain amount of time. The Knight is very astute with financial matters. He likes to be helpful in practical and logical things. He's often quite a good person to call on if you need help. The Queen likes to roll her sleeves up and to get hands-on and help firsthand. That could actually be you. Either of those characters could be you, but they could also be people that are either linked to helping you from this situation or who potentially could have caused this situation. And the playing cards that I've picked are the Two of Hearts, the Five of Spades, the Four of Hearts, the Nine of Spades and the Jack of Diamonds. So there's some really nice playing cards for romance and relationships there. There's a partnership that's balanced and supportive, which if it isn't currently going on at the moment, it's just around the corner for you. You may not realise the full potential of where this can go, but if you can put your energy and your focus into it, it will manifest into what you've always wanted. There's a certain sense of feeling defeated. Maybe there's some opposition towards you being together, or maybe you're facing a few obstacles that are challenging what you have. And I think you really need to work together rather than pull apart on situations like that. There also may be an essence of feeling low because of the other things you're facing and worrying about things that may or may not happen, the what ifs. Obviously that's a waste of energy. You really need to focus on the positives and to start actually making things manifest that you want in your life. Now obviously the darker side of things are now closing up. There's also travel and changes for the positive in the playing cards there. Be aware there is somebody who may be jealous, or there may be a false friend. They might be putting a spanner in the works, particularly in your relationship or in other relationships in your life. There's also a potential for good news coming in and for you actually starting to feel joy again that you've not felt for some time. So that's a really good group of cards there for relationships. These are your oracle cards. We've got Find the Lesson, and that says discover the purpose in a situation, trust that you are learning. We've got No Need to Fear, remember how powerful you are. And then we've got who in the world are you? Getting to know the new you. There's no need to worry about leaving this situation, as you need to find out who you are again. You need to look for what you've learned from the situation and release it, knowing a positive has come out of it and you've moved on a better person. In the obstacle cards, which are potentially stopping us getting what we want, we have the Three of Wands, we have the King of Coins, which is Pentacles, we have Justice, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Queen of Wands. The obstacle cards towards you moving on from your situation, you've basically had opportunities and you've set plans in place, but they've kind of fell by the wayside. You've got to a certain point, but you've maybe lost focus, or you've celebrated a small victory but not fully accepted there's further work to go, or there's more potential there to make something bigger and better. You've got a tendency to carry your worries and your fears and past experiences with you. I think carrying the dead wood and the unhealed wounds not only slows progress, but it can actually cease it altogether, because to a certain extent you're living in the past and you're not facing and looking at where you want to be or what you want to bring into your life. There's a need for balance, or to seek an agreement. Sometimes it's better to have a difference of opinion and to still work towards a similar goal, rather than to argue, fight and battle. So that is something that might come into being. If you are awaiting legal papers, a house sale, a divorce, anything that involves the legal profession, this is quite positive for these. That's not to say that there's a divorce or anything on the cards if it's not already underway. This is just basically advising you that things are moving, things are balancing, and things are working out for the positive. We've also got the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands there. Now, either sex, the Pentacles are about being wise, accomplished and financially stable and having a great work ethic. And the Wands are about being protective of what you hold dear and having the power to transform others with your persuasive personality, to bring the best out in people, to be creative and determined, and to a certain extent not to take no for an answer. If you know something needs doing or you know something's right, to be stubborn and to push that through, because you can actually make it work. Now, with regard to your future, your card is Power. And that is all about reclaiming your power and gaining your courage and passion back to manifest your goals and what you actually want to see come into your life next. We also have Look into the Future, The Truth Be Told, which is all about being honest with yourself and being true to yourself, as denial's not an option. Be clear in communication and don't accept things at face value if you feel there's more to a situation. And the other one is The Thinker, which is about being logical and dispelling what is real from hearsay, and to plan with strategy and focus. I've picked a Door card, which says on the reverse, Offerings. Abundance lies in the heart that allows, share more than expected, and see love come around. And finally, I've picked out a time card for you, which I think, because of the white rabbit, is quite fitting. And you have got the number 2. It is progressing well now. 2 days, 2 weeks. Now, I also see that as the second month, which is February. And because there's 2 2s on there, I potentially see that as the 22nd as well. So if any of those numbers resonate, or if you look for 2s with synchronicity that keep appearing, that can be a sign that things are starting to move forwards and in a positive direction. Hope you've enjoyed your reading. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. So if you chose Alice as your character, this is your reading. In the envelope we have some characteristics that may correspond either to yourself, to people involved in the situation, or it could be personality traits that you may have to adopt to get through what's going on at the moment. Alice is faced with a strange and surreal journey. Throughout this, she is inquisitive, curious, and tries to make sense of whatever appears before her. She has the ability to see life through the eyes of a child, with wonder and excitement. She doesn't dismiss anyone and is accommodating of all she encounters. On a negative note, Alice appears to be naive. She takes things at face value, and this can quickly become her downfall. I think we all are probably a little bit guilty of that when we trust people and are then highlighted of making the wrong opinion or making the wrong choices based on it. So the first set of tarot cards I've drawn for you are the Emperor, the Two of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Justice card. Okay, so the tarot cards are basically telling me that the situation you're in at the minute is a crossroads. I think you've stayed in your comfort zone, and that's been fine. You've stuck with what you know. You've been given different choices which could have stretched you or taken you off in a different direction, but you wanted to stay true to what was going on at the time. And people, places, jobs, finances have all fluctuated, but you've stayed stagnant. You've stayed the same. But now's the time when a lot of new opportunities are coming up that are going to be positive for you, that are going to need you to dip your toe in the water and do something completely different, something that may feel totally foreign to you when you try it. But there's different paths out there for you. You may find that you've got friends who you've morphed away from. You may feel situations have expired and they've just kind of been sitting there and you've done nothing about them. Now's the time when you need to adopt the personality of the Emperor. You need to stand in your truth, decide what you want to do, and to just go out there and start putting that into play. It's been a difficult time, and I think you've tried to do lots of things for lots of different people, but now is the time you need to start doing something for yourself, and it really it's long overdue. So it really needs to start being something that you're looking towards, focusing towards, and looking to manifest. We've got some playing cards as well for you. We've got the Six of Clubs. We've got the Nine of Hearts. And we've got the Five of Diamonds. With regard to the playing cards, I think you're being encouraged to celebrate the victories that you've achieved in a difficult time. They're confirmation that you've accomplished certain things and you're ready to move forward to the next step and to make progress in the right direction. I think there's a slight concern on finances and a need to stabilise the spending or the outgoings to adjust to the fluctuating monetary energies at the moment, but that is a very short-term situation, and if it's addressed, everything will be fine. The Wish card, which is there, the Nine of Hearts, proves that your dreams are in reach of manifesting, and all that stands in your way is the trust and the ability to visualise and work towards your goal. And hopefully on the back of the first set of tarot cards, I think that's tying in with that nicely, that you now need to look towards what you want to achieve and what you would like to bring into your life. We've got some Alice Oracle cards. This one is I Wonder What Will Happen Next. And the other card is All in a Golden Afternoon. I think that what will happen next card is really about the excitement of things now starting to move on, and the need to ask for help if you need it, and to keep up the momentum to increase the vibration, and in turn things will start coming to fruition. All in a Golden Afternoon is all about setting wheels in motion, active movement towards the goals, seizing the day. This is it, this is what you've been waiting for, and the wheels are now starting to turn, and the faster they turn, the faster things come into vision that you want. Now, the obstacles that are standing in the way of you gaining what you'd like to bring into your life are the Five of Wands, Strength, the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and finally the Princess of Wands. So with regard to the obstacle tarot cards, there seems to be a lot of fighting with the negativity of others. It's not other people's opinions or their arguments and squabbles that they bring into the table, because the energies of these are actually quite immature in comparison to you. I think you can almost feel things going on behind your back, discussions, people trying to leave you out of things that you would like to participate in or would normally participate in, you're not being invited to. There's some kind of distance or some kind of wall between you. And to be fair, with the Ace there, the truth will reign in adversity. There's a stubborn, forceful person or energy around you, which can be quite draining, and this may be where the arguments are coming from. If it's not working in your favour, it shouldn't be given your time and energy. You have the strength to get through this, and you know, without a doubt, this is a phase that once it's nipped in the bud, you will grow from strength to strength. With regard to your future, you've got the card of opportunity and you've got the card of pleasure. Now, both of those cards obviously are very positive. With the pleasure card, the universe is showing you an array of things that you can enjoy and be grateful for. The simple things in life make you feel alive and at one with the wider world. And the universe is basically giving you the opportunity to follow through and to experience these things if you let it. And also relating to your future, we have two more cards. We have Between Worlds and we have Loyal Heart. The Between Worlds card basically shows that you're in transition to who you should be, and potentially who you should have been a while ago if you hadn't have hit this stagnant phase. Don't forget, change is difficult, but it moulds us into who we need to be for the next phase of life. And the Loyal Heart, if you're loyal to things you love, you will get back what you put in and receive pure love, trust and loyalty, which is pretty much exactly what you'd want in life. There's a huge new chapter coming up for you in the future, and I think the fact that you're between worlds and you are loyal, I think it's just going to be a fantastic phase of manifestation for you. Now I've selected a door card for you. This is your door, and it says on the back, freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine and sacred reason. And I've also picked a time card because I don't know about you, I like to know sort of when you should be aiming for things and an idea of time when things are going to actually appear, or at least something to work to time-wise. And yours is number 12, and it's a Pisces card. So maybe you're a Pisces, maybe somebody around you is a Pisces, or maybe in the phase of Pisces, things are really going to start to move on. It also vibrates to 12 weeks, 12 months, and the number 12 in the month. So that's something just to watch out for. and to keep your eyes open for. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you have, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. If your choice of character was the White Rabbit, this is the reading for you. We've got some character traits in the envelope that accompanied the cards. Just have a little look inside. This could be your personality traits, it could be people around you in your situation, or it could be what you need to adopt to get through what's going on. The White Rabbit appears to be unorganised. When we see him scuttling off muttering, "I'm late." But this is not the case. He is smartly dressed, taking pride in his appearance, complete with waistcoat and pocket watch. He takes time to make a good impression, has a busy schedule, and is open and friendly to young Alice. On a negative note, the White Rabbit, in his haste, can be careless, dismissive, and can even be blinkered. If his mind was to wander, he would lose focus and potentially end up in considerably more trouble. So that's the message of the White Rabbit. Pop that back onto the stand. So the tarot cards that I've picked for your reading, or the first section of tarot cards, are the Three of Wands, the Seven of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. So with regard to your tarot cards, you seem to have had an array of choices and options that have been open to you, and you've kind of been waiting to throw yourself wholeheartedly into the right choice, but you've kind of been spreading yourself too thin and not really focusing on one precise topic. You can't really split your time and resources and be full pelt at something in so many varied options. So you need to really narrow down your choices and decide what you need to do. There's definitely been some anxiety recently about family, finances or work. This is a short-term situation, but I think when you hone your focus onto what you want and you start actually working wholeheartedly towards it, that will be the end of that phase and you'll move on to pastures new. There's a logical figure, it's a masculine energy but can apply to either sex. Logical figure in a position of authority who may help or hinder you depending on how you approach the situation. So just be aware and just be careful of somebody like this, and obviously approach things in the right way and they will work out for you. Got some playing cards for you next. We've got the King of Spades. We've got the Three of Clubs. The Four of Diamonds. And the Three of Hearts. On the playing cards, there's a need for you to want to stabilise things, particularly in relationships that are close to your heart. Whilst you haven't been happy for a little while, you're now kind of looking back to a time where you were happy in your life and you want to yearn to bring that back in. You're fed up with the routines, and to a certain extent to know what's ahead would ease the worry. I think your concern is probably unfounded, but in a situation where everything's up in the air and it's a time of upheaval, obviously to have anything solid to grip to would be good. So there's definitely a celebration in the future, or a meeting or gathering or something positive on the horizon with like-minded people. It may well not only be pleasurable but also move you on to engage with people on a higher level and to grow spiritually, emotionally and on the earth plane. There's also a positive meeting with an individual that's highlighted for some of you, and a connection that you certainly didn't expect. that will rock your world. We've then got some obstacle cards. This is what's stopping you getting your dreams and manifesting what you want. We've got the Seven of Cups. Now, we've had that in the first set of cards. It's choices and trying to work out what you want to hone. We've got the King of Wands. We've got the Five of Coins. Again, that's another card we had earlier on. And the Nine of Cups. Okay, so the obstacles, again, it's having too many options. It's maybe having a wealth of friends that all want you to do something and it's depleting your energy. You might have lots of different offers of different employment or different types of employment, or people that want a piece of your time. You need to narrow down what you're putting time and energy into, and how, although it sounds selfish, how that impacts you on a positive level. Are you actually putting time into what makes you happy and what makes you want to get up in the morning and to go and function? Or are you just ticking boxes for other people? Because that's really important, that you're getting something out of life and you're not just feeding other people with your time, your resources, your energy, your ideas, etc. So I think to a certain extent you're almost worried to visualise what you want to do, because if it's a success you won't know what to do. But you know, try it. You owe it to yourself to actually put into place ideas that you would like to manifest and to bring them into fruition. There's a stalwart figure around you who means what they say, and they're providing motivation to a lot of people. You're worried that they're not going to understand or back your ideas, or you fear there's a backlash if they don't see your potential. You know, this person knows what you're about. They know on a deeper level what you can achieve and how much passion you put behind things. So rest assured that that is not something that you need to be concerned about. That will be fine. We have some Alice Oracle cards. This one is Mortality, and it says life is brief, bright, beautiful, and yours to live. And this one is Belong to your own dream, create your own life. So the Mortality card, I think you're grieving a loss, and it's not necessarily a person. It could be a way of life. It could be the lack of a person in your life, possibly something that you once felt was stable and enriched your existence, and maybe it's something you relied on that's gone. There's something that you're missing, a void that once was, that is now not around. And that perfectly links onto the Belong to Your Own Dream card, because in the past you've helped so many people create their dreams. It's now about taking your dreams, hopes, wishes, and putting them out to the universe, and to begin to bring them into fruition for yourself. You're not a selfish person. You wouldn't put yourself before other people, but at this point in time you have to. It is all about, you know, life is short, life is brief, life is to be lived, and creating that life that you want to live and you want to be a part of, and bringing people into that life that you want there with you. On to the future. We've got the card Stillness. We have No Place Like Home. And lastly, we have Happy Happy. To me, stillness is about taking some time out to stop and to think about what's ahead for you. The lack of movement, I think, is putting you in a position where you're starting to feel comfortable in the solace of your own space and at home or in familiar environments. And that leads on, obviously, to the No Place Like Home card. Happy Happy, you've realised that there are positives to what you've learned from recent situations, and I think you're content at the moment knowing that there's something ahead, but you need to turn that contentment into happiness. You need to have a new perspective and to to look at certain things in life as learning curves and lessons and take them for what they are and then move on from them, rather than to stress over them, worry about them, or to overthink them. And I think that's what happy is about. It's about being happy in the moment and asking literally for nothing else at that moment in time, just looking ahead and thinking where your next happiness is going to be is where your focus should be. So finally, I've turned you a door which says, trust the universe. Intuition has wandered and led you astray. The timing's not yours, but the universe at play. Have faith and breathe, it says. And the last card I've drawn is a card of time. I think with the white rabbit and time being part of Alice in Wonderland, that's quite important. And also gives you some kind of focal point too. So you've got the number 11, which says listen to friends, 11 days, 11 weeks. It can also be 11 months. I know months seems like forever, but the divine 1111 is there. There's also a reverse 2, which I don't know if is important to you, maybe. But also look out for the 11th month and the 11th of each month, because that can be quite important days for you. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Like, subscribe, share, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. If you pick the teapot and the teacup as your character, this is your reading. With the characters, we've got a small write-up on some personality traits which may reflect your own personality or somebody around you, or it may be the traits you have to adopt to get through what's going on at the moment. Tea is always thought of as a comfort, and the teapot, cup and saucer offer a soothing essence. Tea is drunk with friends and enjoyed with the sweeter things in life. It's both a comfort in times of trouble, accompanies a sympathetic ear when problems are discussed, and is a source of joy in celebrations. On a negative note, we must remember doing and giving too much of ourselves can leave us drained, and one cannot pour from an empty pot. I think that's quite true. If we dedicate ourselves to other people too much, we don't leave resources for ourselves. So, your tarot cards that we have here are the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Swords, the Magician, and the Tower. The tarot cards are indicating that this is a time of huge upheaval for you. There's been a lot of coming and going. There's been ideas going backwards and forwards. And now is the time that things are really going to start to gain momentum and start to move. You feel like you've been restrained and tied down for too long. The Tower there is often a card that people worry about because it is a complete overhaul. But in some cases you need that upheaval, you need a clean slate, you need to make the decisions you need to make, however hard they are, and follow through with them to get to the ultimate end that you want, and to be in a position where you can carry on the path that you're meant to be on. For some reason you've got victory there, but it's almost come at a price. Your victory might have upset others, for instance, like maybe a promotion at work where other workers are disgruntled by your success. Maybe you've sold your house and the neighbours that maybe you stayed in touch with said the new neighbours aren't so nice. You know, there's a positive for you, but there's other people who are feeling a negative of your success. You've got the power to change anything in your life. You've got the Magician there. You know how to change things. It might involve a complete overhaul, as we just said, of what you know, but it's definitely going to be worth it, and it's necessary for you to thrive in the path that you're supposed to follow. So sometimes just making that decision, focusing on it and going for it really is the way to go. Got some playing cards here for you. One's the 7 of Diamonds. One is the 7 of clubs. And then we've got the Ace of clubs as well. With the playing cards you've got, it appears you've achieved so much, but you feel frustrated that things aren't better than they are. There's a new beginning, an initiation or an adventure ahead, and all you need really is the courage and the ability to shun the self-restraints, to enjoy it to its maximum. It's all about self-confidence and about believing in yourself and what you deserve from life in general. And then the Alice Oracle cards we've got are: follow your own good advice, trust yourself, you know what is best for you. And we have it's always tea time, eternity, endless moments and repetition. The always tea time card, there's never going to be a right time. You need to take the moment and make it as perfect as you can to do what you need to do. You're the type of person who people go to for advice with the follow advice card, but when you need guidance yourself, it isn't always there for you. Keep those who would do for you in return close to your heart and help them. But anyone who you feel drains your energy or doesn't reciprocate with help, advice, etc., think about potentially distancing yourself from these people, because they're the type of people who will take, and then when there's nothing left to give, like the empty pot you can't pour from, they're nowhere to be seen. With your obstacle cards, we've got the 8 of Wands, we've got the 2 of Wands, and the Princess of Cups. Now the 8 of Wands is a fantastic communication card, but as it's in the obstacles, I would say there's difficulties in communication, and planning can cause setbacks. Ensure what you're putting across is correct, and just check contracts, check emails, check you're not sending things to people that, you know, shouldn't be included in a group email. Just dot the I's, cross the T's, and make sure any specific details are correct as far as you know. There's emotional support available to you. You might not see this for what it is. There's definitely a young person or somebody that's quite young in spirit. It can be somebody that's older, but somebody that's young in spirit who's not necessarily working towards your goal. They're trying to help you, but they can actually be causing delays unbeknownst to themselves and issues with your progress. So just watch out for that. Other than that, the 2 of Wands denotes that there's a lot of planning out there that you're going on, trying to put things into play, trying to actually get things moving from the ground upwards. And I think to a certain extent, the finer details of planning is what's causing the issues. I think you know what you want to achieve and you know how you want to achieve it, but putting that into play and getting people to help or on board or selling your ideas or things fitting into place just to make it an ease of transition are proving more difficult than you thought. And then your future cards, we've got Success, Chop Wood, and the Fates. So with the Success card, you're putting things in action that are going to bring contentment and fulfillment in the long run, and they're definitely ahead in all aspects of your life. If you apply your energy to your desires and stay focused and passionate on what you want, you'll definitely achieve it. The card Chop Wood is advising that there's people or situations in your life that you've outgrown. I don't know if you've heard the phrase that people come into your life for a reason, a season or a lifetime. and often that means people have come in for a situation to either give you some help, to maybe learn a lesson from you, maybe you're teaching them a lesson. There's normally a purpose, and once that purpose has expired, it's time really to part ways. But some people cling to situations, they don't really want to let it lie. They know it's time to probably say goodbye to that phase, and only then, when that door's closed, can a new door open and something new blossom. So don't feel bad about people that you've outgrown or phases that are finished, because that's how the new phases start. When one door closes, the next one opens. And while we're talking of doors, the penultimate card I've drawn for you is a door, and it says deeper. You are not finished, you are not done yet. Dig deeper and deeper. The best is to come. Hold on, pass this on. So I think that's basically saying that a lot of the hard work that you've put in so far has got you where you are today, and if you can just muster a little bit more gusto behind what you want, it will certainly come to you. And the last card I've picked, because of the white rabbit and the time element of Alice in Wonderland, I thought it would be nice if we had some kind of idea of time scale. And you have got this card, which is number 1. So the number 1 will resonate, maybe the first of each month, maybe 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. And also the period of Aries, which is obviously March and April time. So that is the time to look for fortuitous things coming into your life, positives, and hopefully new doors to open for you. But yeah, definitely the first of the month, and in those timescales, just keep an open heart and an open mind and see what happens. I hope you've enjoyed your reading today. Give me a like, subscribe or share, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.